Oh man, I need to move this. Yo, can you guys
I'm
hear?
getting no sound.
No sound? What you mean you got no sound? How about now?
I can hear you, Amy.
Okay, now I can hear you. It's like
Yeah.
people's talking, but I couldn't hear nobody.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear anybody else either.
Test, test, test.
Okay, so it's not just me. Okay,
Yeah. How about now?
now we can hear you.
That's good.
All right. What's up, y'all?
It's
That's
just
good.
working.
Just literally got a new desk built, and so trying to get all the connections ready. All right, let's get ready. Let's get jamming. Wins in the chat. Get some wins in the chat, y'all. Let's get some wins in the chat. Wins in the chat. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Not wins, Amy. Personal wins for you. What's a win for you, silly? Spent an hour role playing the game plan. Yeah, Jill. I like that. That makes me happy. What else, you guys? Made calls and got reconnected with 3 leads. Got a new listing. My wife is out of town, so I got my kids to school on time. Congratulations, Dan. I'm sure your wife appreciates that. Joined Real. Did my core Pilates this morning. Eagles won the Super Bowl. All right. How about some business wins, y'all? Let's get some business wins. Let's get some business wins. Let's go. Let's get some business wins. If you guys are following along on another platform, we do have guests here today, you guys. So if you're following along on another platform, I want you to share your wins there too. Right? So if you guys are following along somewhere else, like share the wins. We all focus on what we don't have. Focusing on the unlimited possibilities. New listings, 3 buyers showing so far this week. Completed inspection, tank sweep, transaction is smooth, right? 3 hours of door knocking. That's what we're talking about, you guys. 17 conversations on appointment set for Thursday. Door knocking doesn't work. Oh, pity party. Door knocking doesn't work. Cold
Recording in progress.
No, pity party, pity party. You guys, everything works. It's just you know how to work it. Good work, good work. I have a deal that was supposed to close Friday. It's going to close tomorrow. Of course it's going to close, Gabby. Of course it's going to close. 100% it's going to close. Have faith. Meeting a new buyer and working on my new proof pieces today. Amazing. All right. Let's get into it. So, any of you guys ever been ghosted by a buyer before? Like, anybody ever been ghosted by a buyer before? Be real. Camera's on, y'all. Let's go. Joey, unless you're driving, camera's on. Let's go.
But I hate to say this, but I'm somewhat old, and I am not really sure what the definition of ghosted is. I apologize.
Who's chatting? Stan? Stan?
That was Stan.
Gotcha. Stan means you get stood up by a buyer. You go out there, you show them a bunch of properties, you do all these things, right? And then they never talk to you again. Talk to them on the phone, and you say, you know what my favorite line when I talk to people is? I had a great conversation. Like, amazing. What do you know about the person? Huh? What do you know about the person? If you had a great conversation, what do you know about the person? And you know what the response is? Well, they need a new house. That means you don't know anything about that person, which means you don't deserve their business. Like, I'll just be straight. You don't deserve their business. And it's not because you're a bad person. It's just because you don't know anything about them. And so they don't have any reason to want to talk to you. Because if we keep doing the same thing that people were doing 10 years ago, then the buyers shouldn't work with you. They should go work with somebody else that asked better questions, because it's not the buyer's responsibility, right? It's not the buyer's responsibility. It's our responsibility. And too many times we put all of the onus on the buyer. All right. So I was talking to somebody today, and I said, hey, when you're out doing a listing presentation, tell me what your process is. What do you think the first thing this person said they do when they meet a prospect, a listing at the house? What do you think the first thing they do? Put in the chat. Put in the chat. Okay, I'm going to look at the chat now. Oh my gosh. Overwhelming. Tour, walk through, look at the house. Tour, look at the house, walk through the house. Holy smokes, y'all come from different parts of the world, and yet you all put that down. Why did you guys all put that down? Why did you guys all put that down? All right, why did you guys all put that down? Why did nobody say they sit down and strategize first? How come nobody's like, well, the first thing I do is I have a strategy session? Because what have we been trained as buyers, what have we been trained to do as a listing appointment? We're trained to do what? Go and do what? Take a tour, right? That's what you were taught. You were taught to take a tour. But if everybody takes a tour, does that make you different? Or does that make you the same as the 98% that don't do the business they want? Be real. So we're here to be different. So we're here to do different things. Because if you do the same LP Mama that didn't work in 2015 when I was actively selling, it doesn't work now. And it's not because LP Mama is bad, it's because nobody taught you the psychology behind why you do what you do. So you're just repeating, oh, where do you want to live? What's the price point? How many bedrooms, how many baths? Are you pre-approved with the mortgage? Are you working with an agent? And guess what? If you asked my dad all of those questions, he's going to know how to outsell you because he's really good at this stuff. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to be like, oh, that was a shitty lead. No, it's that you were poorly trained. Yes or yes? Hands up. So shall we get into it? You guys, today's fun. Today I had ChatGPT make my slides. If you guys haven't had ChatGPT make your slides, it's pretty fun. There's a lot of typos, but there's typos on my stuff anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But these are pretty cool because I had ChatGPT do this, and I'm pretty excited about it because I want you guys to call me out on all of my slides that have typos in it because it really doesn't matter. So let's get into it. Oh, let me connect my Stream Deck. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. Holy shnikey. I'm breaking stuff in here, you guys. Stuff's flying, stuff's breaking. All right. All right, let's see if this is gonna work. All right. Hit the iPad button. iPad's not working? Of course not. All right, now can we see the iPad? Cool. So my belief is all conversion doesn't happen in conversation. It happens in what kind of conversation? Conversion happens in what? You guys, it's right on it's literally right there. You can just cheat and read it. Conversation happens in what kind of conversations, you guys? Great conversations, okay? So the next time somebody tells you that conversion happens in conversations, correct them and say great conversations, except for when it's Sharon, because just don't do that. Then I don't want to get in trouble. If you're a guest here, right, here's why you should listen. I've been in sales since I was 17 years old. I've done $250 million of sales in real estate. My team was highly profitable. My team members were highly profitable. Sold millions of dollars of Cutco knives, and I've trained thousands of people since I was 18 years old, and they did very well. So you might want to pay attention. Been on stages with some pretty cool people, been trained by a lot of cool people. So if you're one of my private clients and you're not a guest, get your butt to the portal, right? Stop trying to think you're going to just show up to this call a couple times a week and figure it out. Like, that's average agent amateur stuff. And do we agree that we're no longer going to be average agents and amateurs? Yes or yes? So can I get a yes in the chat that I'm going to show up and go to the portal? You guys don't really pay that much money to me, like in the grand scheme of things, considering how much you can make. So like, go do the work, all right? Because let me just tell you, that portal's got 25 plus years of knowledge, all right? I just spent a week with Joe Dispenza last week. I spent a year with Tony Robbins. I spent $1 million, not trying to tell you that I'm fucking cool. I'm telling you that I put a lot of effort to make this a really cool place to hang out. All you got to do is do the work. Like, Daniel's been through it already a couple times. I'm pretty shocked. I'm like, bro, you went through the whole thing in like a weekend? He's like, yeah, man, it wasn't that big of a deal. Now, he needs to go back and do it again a little bit slower, but like, he's got a really good fundamentals because he spent the time to go through it, right? Camila, Laura, like, so many of you guys have been through it. If you haven't, just, guys, time block. We're adults, we're grown-ups, okay? This is my accountability to you. I see who's doing what, FYI. I have access. Here, I'm gonna drop the slides in the chat so you guys can get your aha moments in here. Where's the chat at? So, yeah, right? Damn Daniel. Like, dude, it's not damn Daniel. It's like, damn, why am I not doing it myself? Right? Don't put Daniel on a pedestal. Don't put Daniel on a pedestal. He just made the time, you guys. I see your social medias. You guys are out having fun, going on dates, going to the bar. Want to have fun. I see your guys' shit. I watch you guys. Go to the portal. Yes, yes. Everybody said yes, okay? I want you guys to capture aha moments. All right? I want you guys to capture your aha moments. And I want you to really think about why they're an aha moment, not just write it down and never look at it again, because that doesn't help us. You're not going to do everything. You're going to do one or two things, right? Sales is a game of trust, goals, and skills. I've studied over 1,200 buyer presentations in my life. It's a pretty fair amount. I know the things that work. Your lender in your list of homes is not value. Okay, so if you guys think that I'm going to send my buyers to a lender and I'm going to have the lender do all the work and pre-approve them and then send the buyer back to me ready to rock and roll and I'm going to go show houses, you don't deserve a commission in 2025. That's average stuff, you guys. We're better than that. When you understand your prospects' needs and you know how to deliver what they're looking for, that's cool stuff. And I'm going to show you guys that this is not random. All right, this is science. Now, some of you guys have seen this, right? Focus on listings and not buyers. I've wasted so much time showing homes, right? Do you hear what this person said? I've wasted so much time showing homes and the buyers end up renting or deciding not to buy. Showing homes is not strategy, right? Is showing homes strategy or is showing homes just running around like a chicken with their head cut off, hoping somebody's going to buy? Which one? Put it in the chat. It's a chicken. If you have a chicken strategy, then you should expect to have chicken eggs results. Pretty crappy, right? We don't want to be like that. We want to be better. Oh, and then I love it. You should only go with companies that have ROI guarantees and get it in writing. What? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That's so dumb. That means they're giving, like, it doesn't even make sense because that means that like you're not taking responsibility as a human for your results. Gyms don't give you that kind of a guarantee. Why? Because if you don't show up, why should they give you your money back? They shouldn't. If you don't show up and do the work, why should they give you your money back? Hey, I signed up for 10 courses, but I never made it. I want a refund. Well, sure. I mean, did you tell us you couldn't make it? No. Was the gym closed? No. Was the instructor available? Yes. Okay, well, did we do what we said we're going to do? Yes. Did you do what you said you're going to do? No. So I want my money back. Seems some like half-ass accountability, yes or yes. All right, so let's get into it. I have a belief that majority of agents don't know why their buyers are actually moving. We make an assumption as to why we think we know what the buyer's doing. We assume that because the buyer says they want a bigger home or a smaller home or a bigger yard or a smaller yard, or they want to be closer to mom or farther from mom, that we understand why they're actually moving. Is that true? Is it true that we don't understand a lot of times what their true motivation is? And if we don't understand their true motivation, what happens? Do we deserve that client? Yes or no? Just put it in the chat. Like, let's be real. We don't deserve that client. Okay, so here's going to be the weird part of this call. Okay, this is the weird part. Put your hand on your heart, close your eyes. And if you're driving, don't do that. That'd be dumb. Put your hand on your heart, close your eyes. Hand on your heart, close your eyes. Because when you're in your heart, you're actually in your creative center. I want you to vision, right? I want you to envision as you breathe into your heart, I want you to envision you having beautiful conversations with buyers in your database. Okay, if you guys are driving, don't do this. This would be dumb. Do this when you get home. I want you to envision the buyers being amazing buyers because you do the right thing and you understand it. I want you to vision, right? Envision in your third eye, right? Just focus on your forehead. Sometimes I lift my eyes up into the back of my head so I can look up. Right, as you're breathing in love to your heart, that everybody you talk to, you're able to help. And they want your help because you care more about them than about making a sale. I want you to envision that you care less about the commission and the percentage that the seller's offering than you do about actually working with people to help them. I want you to envision that when you talk to people, you talk to them from a place of curiosity and a place of love and service instead of a place of checklists and information you need to gather so that you can go down your, checklist you got from your broker 10 years ago. I want you to breathe love into your heart as you think about these people. I want you to put a face to these names. These are not leads, these are humans. These are human beings. These are your parents, these are your brothers, these are your sisters, these are fellow humans that need help. I want you to put a face, right? I want you to put a face to those names in your database and humanize them. People talk about humans over homes, but they don't do shit like this. I know, who swears in the middle of a meditation? Keep breathing into it. Keep breathing into it. Keep breathing into it. Relax. Unclench your jaws, y'all. It's just a conversation. I want you guys to look at that database with love and appreciation that you have so many people to talk to and not as work. An excitement that you get to have amazing conversations with people that you actually get to possibly help at some point in your life. And they're receptive and open to your help. When you're ready being a bunch of weirdos, come on back to me. You guys are strange humans. Oh my, you guys fell for that? Oh, come on. How did that feel? In the chat, how did that feel? Anybody get any tears in their eyes because you have never thought of a prospect like this? Anybody got a little emotional? Anybody get a little emotional thinking about humans? Wild, right? Like we just don't spend time like pouring love into people. And people are like, I'm the best, I do this, I do that. Like, let's just come with a little bit more love with everybody. Yeah, let's just come with a little bit more love. Okay, back to the TED Talk. So, oops, this is out of place. So, 80% of buying is emotional. 20% is logical. Right? 80% of buying is emotional and 20% is logical. But where do most of us spend most of our time in a sales presentation? Like, where do most of us spend time? In the logic or the emotion?
Logic.
Logic, right? So like think about it. Most of us are so logical and we go through the checklist in our mind. And I get it, we need that information. I need information from you to help you guys too when I'm on a sales call. I train my sales team how to get information from you guys. But think about this. If 80% is emotion and 20% is logical, what are we pulling out of people when we're on a phone call? What are we pulling out of people when we're in an open house? What are we pulling out of people, right, when we're sitting down and doing a buyer consultation? I get it. There's a lot of processes involved with buying a home. But when we start the buyer consultation and we talk about their overarching goal, when we're on the phone, we talk about their overarching goal and we pull them into our heart and their heart and into what they're trying to accomplish. Because nobody wants to buy or sell. They want to move to something else. Correct? Would you guys agree that people aren't looking to buy or sell a home? They're looking to move to something new that meets their new current needs.
Yes.
Super interesting little flip of mind, right? Stan, I see you nodding. Eric, I see you nodding, right? If we think about the person as a person and not as just a process to a paycheck, it could help us soften our approach with them. So when you're on the phone, we get an overarching goal, yes or yes? Clients, yes or yes? Okay. We probe and clarify. Okay, we ask them how long they've been trying to solve that pain point for. We ask them maybe if there's any impact of that pain point on their lifestyle, on their family, on their quality of life. We ask them if they've been thinking about this, right? Some of you guys have leads that are 2, 3, 4 years old. That means they've been stuck in the same problem that they started out with 2 or 3 years ago. Plus, there's probably 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 new problems on top of it, right? If somebody had a small house 2 years ago and now they have another baby and a dog, do you think the problems are still the same, or do you think there's new problems that have started to layer on top of the old ones? Right, we got new and old. And so it's not, when are you looking to buy? It's, oh, well, originally when you reached out, my God, it's been like 2 years. Time flies when you're, good gosh, who would have thought, right? And they go, I know, it's so, oh, who would have thought? I know, time flies. And then you go, why did you originally even want to reach out? Like, what was like, what were you looking for in that new home? I needed more bedrooms. Oh, why did you need more bedrooms back in 2021? We needed more bedrooms because of, we have 2 kids and the in-laws are here, my parents are here, and now we got dogs, and one of the kids is like 5 and the other one's brand new and they're sharing a bedroom and blah, blah, blah. Is that still going on? Yeah. Has that gotten worse now that the kids are bigger and the dogs are bigger? And yeah, it has. They don't remember that it's gotten worse because they're comfortable living in that space. They've become used to waking up and having the pain. So they've accepted it. It's why people stay in bad relationships. It's not that they want a shitty relationship. They've become accustomed to the shitty relationship. LP Mama, location, price, motivation, agent, mortgage, and I don't remember what the last day is. Assumptions, a bunch of assumptions. Do you see why we don't convert buyers? Because we don't ask good questions. And then when we do ask good questions, we don't listen to what the prospect says. We hear one little thing and we move on to the next line, 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 the next line. And by the time we're done, that's been a very basic surface level answer and conversation. And do people make big buying decisions with surface level? What do y'all think? You know, the stand-up desk cost $179 for the base. Do you know how many stand-up desks I looked and researched on Amazon? Because we live here in South America, not everything ships. Do you know how long it took us to order this? We had the desks sitting. You guys probably saw the IKEA boxes on the wall for the last 2.5, 3 weeks. Think about that. How long does it take to buy a stand that's $179? And I can return it. It's just a pain in the ass. Can you return a house? Can you guys return a house after you buy it? So remember, everything starts on the phone, right? What is the first thing I teach you guys? The ultimate appointment booking formula. Why? Because where does everything start? A great conversation on the phone. The second thing is do we understand the profile of our buyers that we're working with? Do we really deeply understand the profile? Like, do you really deeply understand what a first-time home buyer is going through? What a first-time, you guys chat GPT, look at that, 2 first-time home buyers, right? We got a family in there. We got a business we got a recogation. Like, this is good. You guys, look at ChatGPT over here. All right. We got Notion motivation. This is good. I like this. This was fun. I was like, ChatGPT, you have spelling errors. ChatGPT made the same exact slides, same exact spelling errors. So I'm like, ChatGPT, help me out here. Right? So what kind of buyers do you have? Like, let's take a second here and stop, calibrate and listen. I sit back on a whole new mission, something. Write down who your buyer profile is. Who is your ideal client profile? Who is your ideal client profile? Do you know who your ideal? It is not everybody. Your ideal client profile is not everybody. Your avatar is not everybody. I promise you it's not. If it's everybody, that means you have nobody and you've not thought of it, and that's okay, but you need to think about who is your avatar? Who are you really focused on? Well, Vic, I don't want to limit the marketplace. Oh, guys, we don't sell to mortgage officers. Do you see us running ads to people that are looking to invest in real estate and teaching them? This is the same stuff that you teach them. It's just minor differences in words. Do you see me teaching doctors and dentists? No, I focus on realtors. Why? Because the total addressable market's huge. Who's your avatar? Like, get personal with these people. Like, do you understand your avatar? Somebody who wants to downsize, why are they downsizing? What is making them want to downsize? Are they going through a divorce? Did they have a family member pass away? Is it because they're, just in the big 3,000 square foot house, they've been there for 18 years and now they're looking to downsize, right? Young couples that are getting married, buying their first home together. They've been living together in an apartment for 2 or 3 years, and now they're ready to buy their first home together because they're getting married and they want to get pregnant. Who's your avatar? Are they the people that are been in their first home, they have 1.25 kids, right? And now they're looking to go into their long-term 12-year house. Who is your avatar? Right? The fact that someone who wants to live near water is not an avatar, my friend. Like, that's not an avatar. Get specific. Who's that someone, right? You see, we don't want to limit ourselves, so then we don't know how to message. Everybody wants to do social media, but they don't know what to say. Why? Because we don't know who we're talking to. Because we're trying to talk to everybody. Pick somebody, right? Yeah, Camila, Spanish speaking, first time buyers. Are they from America? Did they move from Mexico? Are they coming from Latin America, right? Do they have multiple people in their family, right? I know a lot of Spanish people, they crush it because they have 3 or 4 generations living in one home, and they buy one home and another home and another home and another home and another home. And in 10 years, they have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 houses. And then everybody decides to move off and do their own thing, and they have like a little compound next to each other. They're killing it in the marketplace, right? They have that immigrant mindset. Who are you really looking to focus on? Because you know what becomes really cool? Everybody's like, Vic, do you help us with social media? I'm like, you're not going to do anything with social media anyways. A lot of you guys signed up for a bunch of different courses. A lot of people signed up for Neil's course last month. And I haven't seen any new content from you guys. It's been 30 days. What's going on? That's plenty of time to make some shit happen. What the fuck? What's going on? Why are you spending all that money? Because you're chasing shiny objects. You guys don't even get on these Zoom calls and turn on your camera. You're going to make a piece of content, put it out to the world that 3 people are going to see, 2 being your mom and your grandma. You're so concerned about the world seeing it when nobody even watches it. Like nobody, let's be real. Who's your avatar? Right? Who's your avatar? Who's your avatar? If it's everybody, it's nobody. Just remember that. I don't want you guys to be that person. I want you guys to really focus in. Our team, right, we're building a sales team right now. Now that Cody and I finally got our merger done, now I can focus on building the sales team. And so I love building sales teams more than anything in the world. It's the most fun thing in the world for me. But one of our guys last week was like, hey man, I got on a call with this person and she had X, Y, and Z problem. And I'm like, cool. How many calls have you heard me get on where they had that same problem? He's like, I don't know, maybe 1 out of 30. I'm like, so why do we want to focus on this one random occurrence when all you have to do is book her in on a call with me and I'll handle it and not be focusing on the 29 other people that are our ideal client profile? Hey man, I had this one call, the kid was 20 years old. He was on the call yesterday. He's super nice, super great, genuine dude, but he's 20 years old. Do most 20-year-olds have thousands of dollars saved up? No. Not my ideal client. They don't even know like what they want to do with the rest of their life, leave alone like invest thousands of dollars into something like what we do. Are they my ideal avatar? No. So why are we talking about it? So many of us spend so much time on the one-off that we forget that the 95% of our business we're neglecting because we're trying to figure out how to have that one conversation with the one-off person instead of figuring out how to have the 95 conversations with all of the people who are perfect, right? Like when you look at this little diagram right here, right? Are they moving for more security? Are they moving for status? Whose call were we listening to yesterday where the guy, Janet's, right? Janet's call yesterday where we were listening to the guy and he said specific words. I want, who remembers the specific words? He was so articulate.
The land mass, he wanted exclusivity.
Exclusivity, what else?
Right, land mass of like 5 acres, 5 to 10 acres.
But he used specific language. Gracias.
I forget what else.
Very specific language, right? So he wants status, right? Exclusivity, that's status, right? He's not concerned about security because he already lives in a nice neighborhood. Do some people want comfort? Do some people want, right? Like, what is it that your people want? Put it in the chat right now. It's important we spend the time to do this because you won't do it when you leave me. I know you won't. So I'm going to, even if I have to skip some stuff at the back, I'm going to wait here until you guys put stuff in the chat. Right? What is the reason that your buyer is looking to get into the area that you want to serve? You guys, I was very focused on my people. My ideal client avatar, just so you know, was the seller who picked the agent that was referred. Because I went in and I demolished the agent without demolishing the seller for picking the friend. But I demolished the agent. Why? Because I had such good proof pieces, case studies, and I could show them how different we are. Because a buyer wants a home and a seller wants a buyer. Nobody wants to buy or sell. Get that shit out of our vocabulary. Oh, are you guys okay that I swear? Oops, sorry. My bad. Are you working with investors? Right? So many times we would get investors that called us, you guys. I spent $25,000 to $40,000 a month on Zillow. Every month. That wasn't a yearly budget, that was a monthly budget. It was branding and marketing. I knew exactly what I was doing. Do you think we got a lot of investors that came through? God, Corey, I'm so fucking sorry. I'll work on that. Don't tell my dad. He'll get mad at me. You guys, do you think we got a lot of investors that came through? We lived in Bellevue, Washington, a suburb of Seattle. A lot of tech people, a lot of foreigners, a lot of Indians and Asians. Do you think that those people like to invest and want good deals? There were certain investments we didn't touch. I didn't care how much money they had. Because it would take me too much time to work with that one person when I had an overabundance of opportunities available to me. So we referred them out and collected a commission on the referral. We stayed in relationship with them and the other agent throughout the process because I wasn't handing off my client. I was just handing that person off, just like a surgeon is handed off the patient, but they still go back to their primary doctor. I am the primary doctor. I am not this specialist that did a bunch of stuff that I didn't understand. And I didn't try to be. And I told my people, I only specialize in these things right here, but I have a team of people that I work with that can help you with all these other things. I was very clear on our avatar. We didn't drive 4 hours away to list a home in a different city that was 45 miles away. And with traffic, it could take 2 hours each way. Why? Why would we do that to our team? You only do that because you're desperate and you don't know that your avatar isn't that person. We referred it out, we collected a commission, and we got paid. Who is your avatar? Corey, if you're commercial, bro, by all means, you build your avatar. If that's something that you're working on and you're building out, bro, 100%. But if you're only doing stuff one-off randomly, and it takes so much time and effort, put it in the chat, Stan, then you are going to lose opportunities. Our avatars are very specific. When you guys talk to Cody, ask him about the copy we write for Triz versus marketing versus ISA clients. It's very specific. Now, I believe everybody who gets marketing first needs to come and hang out with me for at least 90 days and then pivot over there. That's my belief. I'm very sound in my belief. You guys have heard me tell you I have my first marketing appointment on Thursday. I'll probably pivot those people into buying Triz because I know my avatar. How well do you guys know your avatar? So how many of you guys have actually spent a lot of time doing this in the last 12 months? Okay, so this could be an aha moment, okay? This could be an aha moment that I need to build my ideal client profile better. Spend a little bit more time. Where do they shop? What do they do? Because you can't understand the psychology about them until you understand everything about them. So the more you study them, and you guys, what's really crazy is you can start to build your basic avatar and throw it into GPT and let GPT send it back out to you, and you could just tweak it. And what's even cooler is if you use your phone, you can talk to GPT, and GPT will build your avatar. They even put images on it, you guys, little shitty images like this with misspellings. It'll have some typos. I know. My humor is ridiculous. Okay. Emotion versus logic, right? Logic and ergosin. What language is GPT in right here, y'all? It's like Russian, Colombian, like Indian, English. This is great. You guys notice though, ChatGPT connects everything to the heart? I didn't tell it to do that. In fact, I just looked at this slide right here. Do you guys notice how GPT tells everything from the heart? If you don't put your hand on your heart and you stay in your head all day long, I'm just telling you, you're losing opportunities to connect with people. The heart-to-heart connection is the strongest thing we build. How many people here that were on the call yesterday for our mastermind? How many people here yesterday were like, oh my God, Camila and Janet shared so beautifully and openly, and it made you feel more connected to them. It made you want to open up to them, hug them, protect them, tell them that they're important, they matter, it's okay. Heart-to-heart connection. Can't make that shit happen just accidentally. Okay, let's keep going. It starts on the phone. Buyers. Oh, hold on. Where's that one at? Where did it go? When you start to understand your avatar, you start to understand their fears. How many of you guys get strung along by buyers? I want to wait for this. I want to wait for that. I want to wait for this. Right? Who? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. How many of you guys get that? The string along of fears, right? The objection, right? Sal in the chat. Or you're just raising your hand. I don't know. But in the chat. Right? The reason why is because we don't understand the fears that they have. Because we haven't put the time, right, to actually fully understand. Right? We haven't put the time to fully understand who they are and what they're about. Overpaying fear, bad investments, is the market going to crash, right? Like, what are their fears? Because people don't make a decision because they're scared of making a wrong decision. People stay stuck because they're scared of making the wrong decision. Why? Because they've made bad decisions in the past. And they think that their past predicts their future. Well, as Joe Dispenza says, that's living in the predictable past instead of the unlimited abundance of the future. I would rather play in the unlimited abundance and the unlimited infinite possibilities of the future than in the predictable past. What about you? Did I freeze? Am I freezing? Oh, hold on.
On and off.
Hold up.
Every now and then.
Okay, hold on. Let me close one of these 900 windows open right now and see if we can stop the freeze. Is this good so far? Does this give a little bit of a different perspective on buyers and how do we help them instead of like closing them? Like, how do we actually help them? It's super interesting when we slow down to speed up, right? It's super interesting when we slow down to speed up. Like we're trying to work so fast that we just don't allow ourselves the space to open up. And when we give ourselves the space to like actually work on this stuff, like amazing things happen. Okay, let's keep going. I really don't like leaving Colombia, you guys. The coffee everywhere else in the world is just really not great. So I love this one, right? Storytelling. How many of you could work on your storytelling? Can you leave my door open, please? It's so hot in here. You need to get a fan or something. Thank you. How many of you guys need to work on your storytelling? Storytelling is an art that you get paid for, and you practice it. You get better by practicing it. Jerry Seinfeld. Any of you guys know the story about Jerry Seinfeld and how he got so good at writing jokes and telling stories? Anybody know? Some of you don't know. Oh, okay, cool. So Jerry Seinfeld had a calendar, And when he was young, he made it a point every day to write jokes for like what, an hour a day? I think it was an hour a day. I could be wrong. But I think it was a minimum of an hour a day. If you wrote jokes for 365 days times an hour, do you think you'd be better after 1 year? Like sat down and physically wrote the jokes out. We tell stories to help people envision themselves, not because we want to share how cool our life is. We tell stories because they have a point, and we allow through storytelling the prospect to insert themselves inside of the story without us saying, oh, well, is this something you want to do? Hey, let me tell you a story real quick about one of my clients that was going through something really similar to you. When you guys go into a house and you see a picture frame and it's got like stock images of people in it, do you sometimes put yourself into that picture frame? Or am I the only weirdo here? I'm probably the only weirdo here. But when you see a family in there, don't you start imagining their story versus your story? So when you guys stage homes, right? Whenever you guys stage homes, it's always best to take down the personalized pictures and have the stock photos. Because people can't imagine themselves in somebody else's life, but they can imagine themselves inside of the stock photo. Interesting, right? Crazy. Psychology. It's everywhere we go. So when we run the right profile, again, your avatar, your ideal client profile, when you run the right profile, you know the right stories to tell. Because you probably don't need 100 stories, you probably need somewhere between 3 to 5 great stories. But we think we need to know 1,000 things. But when you really know your profile, right? When you really understand your prospect, when you really put in the energy, when you really put in the work, do you see how now we know their fears, we know their motivations, we know their drivers, and we can build 5 or 6 stories that they can see themselves plugged into? And then when we story tell, it's so much easier. Because I'll tell you guys, 85 to 90% of every single one of my sales calls, every single one of you who've been on them, whether it was with me or Cody or somebody on our team, are all scripted and they're all the same. And yet you're all here with something slightly different to solve. We don't have 1,000 stories. I love it when agents say, well, every sale is different. No, it's not. You show up differently to every sale. That's the problem. The sale's always the same. The person wants to move into something else. Why do they want to move? I don't know. That's the problem. It goes right back to our first slide. Majority of people don't know why the buyer or seller are actually taking action. So we need to learn how to story tell, but we don't just story tell for the sake of talking. We story tell because of what? Because we are looking to help the prospect take themselves out of their current reality and put them into a different reality. And when we do that through storytelling, right, they get to be there without having to be there. And it removes the pressure and the stress, and then it allows them to ask questions. Pretty gangster, right? Does that give you guys a different approach to like storytelling? I just made that up right now, FYI. I'm sorry. So you got to trust the process, okay? You got to trust the process, right? For those of you guys that are guests that are here today, welcome. We have this all built out inside of the portal. For those of you who are here that are clients, what do you need to do? Go to the portal.
Go to the portal.
Yes. Who said that? Gold star. Gold
Me.
star. I don't know who me is. There's 40 people.
Me too.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay. Seattle. What? I used to sell in Bellevue. I used to live in the Braves.
Really? Okay. I sell a lot in Sammamish, Copeland, Bellevue, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I sold in Bellevue, Redmond Ridge, Sammamish.
It is crazy here.
I
Crazy
know.
means crazy, yeah.
It's crazy back then too. So,
Yeah.
so like, do you cross out line X on your contracts? When you send
Yes,
in-
a lot,
Yeah.
a lot. Waving off, I joke around with my clients saying that the only thing left with you is kidney and your kids.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's a good joke.
Rest
I like it.
everything. Yeah.
It's a good joke. You know where
Yeah,
you know where crossing line X came from?
Uh-huh.
I read the contract one day. And I'm like, there's a contingency in this offer. My broker says, no, that's just bullet point, like, that's just legal jargon. I said, no, it's a contingency. Because I got an offer that was contingent-less except for line X. I actually sat down and read the whole contract. It took me 17 minutes, you guys. And I highlighted it. And I was like, well, there's a contingency in it. And I told my broker, I want to take it out. He's like, I don't think you can do that. I'm like, why? We can write addendums. Why can't we take stuff out of this agreement? It's like, let me talk to the attorney.
We can't. Yeah. Mhm.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Y'all can
Because-
take stuff out of the agreement. You just have to talk to your attorney and get it yelled at a lot. And it takes about 36 hours and people
Yeah.
are screaming at you. But you can modify the agreement, y'all. You just have to do it the right way. So we started taking line X out back in 2012. And that was like.
That's why a lot of
unheard
MLS forms here change, Northwest MLS, because everybody was Xing out the verification period. Everybody was, so they just, made it change that. They got it from the page one that 0 days or whatever that you can write.
Mhm. And then the other thing
Yeah.
we started doing was we started turning earnest money into a non-refundable performance deposit.
Now also it is the same. We are getting multiple offers and non-refundable earnest money given to the seller in 1 day.
But it's got to be worded right.
Yes.
Washington, Corey, you got to word it right. So the buyer expressly orders escrow to convert the earnest money into a non-refundable performance deposit on execution of this agreement, and the money will be delivered to the seller immediately upon within 24 hours upon receipt of the money clearing the bank or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Guys, we understood our
Yeah.
clients, but do you?
I was
Yes,
asking,
sir.
what is line X?
Line X she's in Washington State. I used to sell there.
Oh.
So it's state specific. You probably have something in your, it's a verification period on the contract. So like,
It's-
when you understand your prospect, do you think that I'm going to tell a very wealthy Indian family that's very conservative, that's very smart, at the time of agreement, the time that we're writing an offer on a home, that we're walking in butt naked to this offer and they have no recourse? Oh, and by the way, their 5% earnest money is going to be given to the seller. Oh, and by the way, we have to do this now because there's 36 other offers on the table. Do you
No,
think I have
no,
the time
no.
to do that, you guys?
No,
When do we
not
do
at that time.
We do that. at
So
the
it has to be at the
process?
beginning. It has to be when we are preparing them and showing them homes. Sometimes I let a buyer lose one offer
Hmm.
before they are mentally
No,
prepared.
no, you guys, don't do that. Why do you want to let them lose an offer? That's crazy.
Because sometimes they are
No,
very
I'm
fixed.
I'm gonna stop you right there because we don't want to do that anymore. You sit down with your buyers and you follow the buyer consultation in the portal. And you tell them that we don't write offers, we win houses. Write that down. Mr. and Mrs.
Okay.
Buyer, we don't write offers, we win houses. Neither, you got to go to the portal.
Okay, yeah.
Because who's got the time to
I'm
go
sorry,
show
I'm
6%? No, it's okay. I got you. I'm gonna mute you because we got a couple more slides and only 4 more minutes.
Yeah.
But you guys, this is why you have to show up, because we don't need to let buyers lose. What we need to do is better prepare them to win. And if they don't want to play my game, guess what? I just don't play with them, and that's okay. I don't need everybody. I can't service 1,000 people a month. We're all trying to get everybody instead of trying to get the 3 to 5 we need. And then we chase the
Makes
wrong
sense.
ones and we ignore the good ones. And then we end up chasing the people that want to take our commissions instead of the people who are excited because you don't have a process for them to trust. The most important thing we do is the buyer consultation with the buyer. Because if we don't have that, what have we done? Nothing. And how
Well, I
many of you
agree.
guys have not prepared? It's 17 pages long. How many of you guys have not studied that?
Me.
There we go. I appreciate the honesty. So I'm going to show you guys the roadmap again. First step, learn the ultimate appointment booking formula. Because if you know all the stuff, but you don't have appointments, it don't matter. Second step is learn how to use it. It's module 1, you guys. It's not that. It's module 1. So many of you guys haven't been through module 1. It's 36 videos. Like the longest one's 10 minutes. It's like 2 hours. Change your life. Then we learned the 7-figure buyer presentation. Because when you can work with buyers, you take that information and you click it over to the listing presentation. And now you understand how to have a full process. And then you just get better at it and you get better at it. And you go from a 10% close rate to a 50% or a 40% to an 80%. Because not that everything you do needs to be tweaked. It's just there's things that we all need to do to tweak our business. Okay, so in the chat, a couple of takeaways. In the chat, a couple takeaways. Let's go. In the chat, a couple takeaways for me, please. Just so that I know that this was halfway decent. Otherwise, I get yelled at by people.
We don't write offers. That's a good line.
I got a lot of good one-lines if you keep showing up. I'm full of one-lines. 2 lines is too much. 1 line's all day long. Study my avatar, start marketing to them. Yes. Avatars, avatar. Look at your database as opportunities, not work. Oh, I love that one, Toby. Sal's addicted to crack. Sorry, Sal, he's not here to protect himself, so it makes it really easy to crack jokes with him. Crack, see, another one-liner. Know your avatar. Amy's got to work on her time, right? Amy, I wake up at 3:30 in the morning nowadays because I'm in the season of a farmer, right? This is a farming season. And so during farming season, farmers wake up early and they work long hours. They don't do it forever, but they do it for a short period of time because they know that this is the harvest season. So I wake up really early because there's things that are non-negotiables on my calendar that I need to do. But I also take a nap in the day. And I drink 3 like lattes that I swear to God are more caffeine in one of them than like I can even count on one body part. Focus my storytelling, create avatars, figure out my avatar, 80-20, right? Emotions. Emotions sell. You guys remember, we don't stop the emotions off the phone call. We use the emotions throughout the phone call, the presentation, and the showings. You're always storytelling, bringing them back to the pain they're trying to solve and figuring out if the property you're showing them is solving that pain. Hey, so if you had a house like this, right, Kim, right on the water, beautiful view, close to the beach, would this X, Y, and Z, whatever they said their problem was? No. Okay, cool. So why are we here? What are we looking at? Not a tour guide. Why are we looking at these homes over and over and over again? 5 to 7 homes should be shown, you guys. Maybe 10 to 12 max. But when you ask the questions of why are we here looking at these homes then, they go, well, I just wanted to see it. It's like, well, go to the open house then. We're here to buy homes, not look at houses. Right? We're here to not write offers. We're here to win houses. Right? And then you create stories or hooks to bring them back to what they're trying to solve when you're inside of a home. We never drop the overarching goal. Every time you talk to them, you remind them because they're comfortable being uncomfortable in their current situation. We have to remind them of their uncomfortableness, and we need to layer that on with how this could solve their possible problem. If we don't do that, they forget because they go
And they
back to
wander.
life without you. Helping, not commission, storytelling, sellers aren't different. We show up different in every sale. Yeah. Buyers are all the same, you guys. Like You guys are all the same. Like what I tell new salespeople on our team is once you crack the code of a realtor, they're all the same. You guys say the same exact thing. You guys have the same exact problems. Like I could go through and it's literally verbatim 90% the same exact call over and over again. Where do you predominantly get your business from? Sphere. Why do you do Sphere? Well, we've tried other things in the past. What have you tried? We bought leads. We've done cold calls. We've done expired. We've done some door knocking and some open houses. Cool. What happened there? Oh, the leads weren't good. The market was slow. Interest rates, inventory, blah, blah, blah. Your avatar is exactly the same as this. It's not the market. It's not the leads. It's not the interest rates. It's just you guys were never taught. Your avatar is stringing you along because you haven't spent the time to put together the 3 to 5 things that's going to help them move their life forward in their situation. And it's because we don't understand the avatar. That's why I wanted to do this particular training session at the beginning of the year. So that you guys, now that we're in the buyer season, you guys actually understand your buyers. So helpful. Get out of my head, get into my heart. You guys, a hand on the heart exercise every time you go into an appointment. Every time I go into an appointment, I always think from my heart, not my head. Not here to sell, I'm here to serve. Helpful? Some of you guys got me in December, I was in my head. I apologize. I was an asshole. I was aggressive. But I forgive myself for that because I was going through some stuff. And we're all allowed to be human. I'll see some of you guys, I think, later on tonight or tomorrow. I have no idea what my calendar looks like. I think I'm late for something. I'll see some of you later. If you're a guest and you want to be a part of the program, just send me a message privately. If you guys are a part of the program, please go to the portal. Like, please make that a priority because it'll speed up everything. Because we don't go to the forest with the dull knife. We go to a forest with a sharp axe. This is your axe. And I'll see y'all later. Appreciate you playing. Bye.
Thank you.